Morning guys, so a little update of where we are with work at the moment. So today is Tuesday. We've had the concrete pour done at our passive house. So that is a big concrete slab with all the reinforcing mesh. So really pleased that that's happening today. That means then that tomorrow it has a couple of weeks to go off, and then tomorrow we can start building the garage. So there's quite a lot of work involved in the garage. All carpentry heavy based, so looking forward to getting stuck into that. Our project near Ross is coming to completion, so all the boys there are finishing painting, all second fix carpentry is getting done, the tiling of the bathroom is getting done as we speak, ready for plumbers to come in and start fitting the shower and bath and sink and things like that. Our other project we've got ongoing at the moment, the one that's James is on at the moment, going really well. It's a really intricate roof, so we've got Rob and James over there at the moment, so you've had a couple of days just playing around trying to get it to work. I'll get up there and get some video content of up there, and you'll be able to see just how tricky it is been for them to do it. So this week going to be carrying on with the garage. So we've got a couple of weeks there now. It's quite a big garage. It's 15 by 8 meters, so quite a lot of work that needs to be carried out to do it. So we're going to get it watertight. So the tiles have been on order, same tiles for the house as in for the garage. So what we're going to do is we're going to get it watertight, felt and battened, and then there's a big lead time on the tiles. They've been ordered a long time ago. So yeah, plodding along. Weather's looking really nice, so just happy at the moment. We've got 3 jobs on the go at the moment, so it's nice just have a little bit of a catch up with all our work, and we can really just concentrate on a couple of projects, go full steam ahead. Our zinc clad building, all the patios done now, just waiting for the zinc man to come now. So as soon as that's done, it's all the windows and doors are in now, so as soon as that's done, the zinc, we can then go inside, start doing the internal work, which is a couple of putting some RSJs in and doing a lot of knocking around inside. So that one, it's not a million miles away from finishing. So Ben's in the office at the moment. He is really just trying to get everything as cheap as possible at the moment. All the prices of materials are just skyrocketing recently. So what we're finding now is that he's spending more time than ever just ringing around trying to get the best prices. So it's good to have him in the office that he can do this, because normally we'd have just gone to one building merchant and said, yep, I'll take that, I'll take that, I'll take that. But we can't do that at the moment. We just can't afford to, because these prices are going up so much so quickly that we're having to shop around. And we're also now buying materials for projects, future projects, because we've been told last week, a couple of weeks ago, that insulation is going up 37%. Well, 37% on any material is ridiculous, but it's already gone up 12% last month. So I don't really know how sustainable this is at the moment, but so what we're trying to do is we're trying to be proactive, order as much as we can now for all these projects, and then have it on site or in our office, in our yard. Means that we can then not have to pass that on to the client. So yeah, pleased with progress on everything that's going on. Thanks. Bye.
We're over at our Radial Extension now in South Hereford, and what you're looking at is the removal of masonry walls of the existing building. The guy spent some time yesterday propping up the gable end of this brick house. You can see the acro props with the big pieces of timber going through the wall in its entirety. That's called needling. So that's essentially supported that gable end of the house, and we will be fitting the first steels soon. The guys are just trimming out the timber joists and stuff that are in the way of the steel, and yeah, we'll be getting the steel in shortly. So you can see the horizontal steels here. They're separated by a gap, and what that gap is the cavity in the masonry wall. So each side of this steel beam is supporting one leaf of this existing masonry wall above. So the outer leaf is the brickwork that you can see, and the inner leaf is normally made up of blockwork. And obviously there's a cavity in the middle, which is why those steels are separated. And you've got the same going on with those steels across there. The reason the walls below at the moment aren't dropped is just really to keep any inclement weather that might come in out of the house as much as possible. Once the guys have cut this roof on and felted it, and we put the insulation around the perimeter here, we'll drop the rest of these walls because they're no longer bearing on anything. They're just keeping the worst of the weather out. Just turning up at our curved eco extension now in South Hereford. See how the guys are getting on. Beautiful south facing one this, so he gets the sun like all the time, so it's really nice. Yeah, so we had the steels put in tail end of last week when they finally got here, which means the guys can get on now with all the timber structure. So they've just started stripping back the existing roof, and the timbers you can see above me here in that little triangle section, that's the Juliet balcony to the master bedroom. So there's a window up there at the moment. I think you can just see that over my head here. That window will be dropped, and there'll be a pair of French doors going out there leading to the balcony. So yeah, that's what that deck's for. I'll take you up there now and you can have a look. This is the existing bedroom window, which we'll be dropping for a pair of French doors, and then we're effectively stood on the balcony area now. So looking out to the fields, chickens, sheep. Beautiful. You got your sun cream on today, all jokes aside?
No.
You haven't?
No.
You're going red already?
I'm wearing trousers.
Yeah, so you're not sweating much either?
Yeah, I don't need any sun cream from here down.
Yeah.
It's fine. Luckily I'm blonde as well.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't fry in the sun.
Not like him. Handsome sod look. Short brown and handsome he is.
Short brown and handsome and grey.
So you can see the big rafters there from wall plate up to the small parapet, and that's the parapet for the balcony, which will become apparent later on. And then all the purlins are hung off these rafters. So complex little roof, but the guy's doing really well. Here you can see a bit clearly the build up of the external walls, and then in these voids here gets filled with a Psycho 360 insulation. I'd just take a minute and quickly knock up another sample cross section for you, so you can see in a bit more detail some of the work that our guys are doing on site. It'll be a bit crude, again, just spare timber I've got lying around, but I'll put it together and then I'll talk through some of the products in a bit more detail with you. Very simply put, timber frame, sole plate, 2 upright studs, okay? This is a Styco product which goes externally around the timber frame. Like I said, I'll talk to you in a bit more detail about this in a minute. Okay, so I'll spin this around now. And what you can see, or what there is from the outside in, is our timber structure, our substructure. In between, we have the Styco board. Then we have breather membrane. This one's a tie deck fire curb, and then we've got battens then that fix all the way through into our timber panel. In front of this one, we have some nice oak cladding, which I'll get to show you guys in a bit. Hi guys, so you've just seen me knock this sample panel up quickly downstairs, so I thought I'd just take you through a few of the products in a little bit more detail, because it's not always easy to explain when you're on site. So I'll start by turning this panel around and work from the inside out. Okay, so on the inside here at the moment we have the timber frame. Okay, so if you imagine this one's called a sole plate, this is screwed direct to the concrete. We can start building our timber frame off here, and these would be upright studs. They simply carry the frame from the ground level up to wall plate, which is where the rafters start. And so there are other members in the timber frame, such as lintels above a window, cripple studs that support door openings, etc. But that's essentially, very simply, the start of your timber frame. Now, this product you're looking at here, which is affixed to the outside, don't forget we're on the inside here. So this is called Styco Special Dry. This is fixed to the perimeter of that curved eco extension that we've been looking at. And this has got really good thermal properties because it's actually made from wood fibre. And because of that, it's also got sound insulation qualities. So that around the whole thing adds insulation value to what we're also putting on the inside. Okay, I haven't got any of the Styco Flex here, but Styco Flex is the product that's going in between the studs. Now, what that is a flexible insulation that is also made from wood fibre, again with great thermal properties. Actually, I was reading it's carbon negative. I was reading on the website earlier. I'll read you a little quote off the website. So Styco Flex, that's the product going in between here for insulating. Styco Flex is a flexible wood fibre insulation. Its excellent thermal properties help reduce heating costs and CO2 emissions. Thanks to photosynthesis, Styco Flex also stores CO2. Trees absorb CO2 during photosynthesis, and the carbon stays in the end product. More CO2 is stored in insulation than is used during the production, so it's carbon negative. I thought that was great. Buildings are going towards being more green and better for the environment, so I think that is a really great little fact. I'm going to spin this around now, and you can see some more of the build-up on the outside. Again, apologies, things aren't really fixed properly, but we're just working in the office here with what we've got. So what you can see here is the house wrap. This one is a Tyvek fire curb. And now some property facts of the fire curb is it's self-extinguishing. So if that was to ignite, it would put itself out, and it's coated on the outside, so it greatly reduces any smoke and fumes. So that's a really good fire-resistant product to have on a timber structure. And then what you have are battens. In this case, we are vertical battens, which will be fixed through to the timber studs. They'll be fixed all the way through to these. What that does is create your cavity. So you've got airflow. In this instance, it's about 2 inches. And if you can imagine, along the bottom here on site, we will have an insect mesh. That's just a very tightly woven steel fabric, basically, to stop insects, rodents getting up into this cavity. So that'll be all there on the bottom here. And then on this particular one, we have some oak feather edge boarding going on. So they're 8-inch boards, and they lap about 1 inch. And you'll see that a little bit later on the progress of that job. So yeah, that's the wall makeup on our curved eco extension. So I just wanted to take some time and show you that. Okay, so just popped into our zinc clad extension, which has been a little bit stationary for a while because we've been waiting for the windows and doors to come and be installed, but they were done last week, and the guys come to fit the zinc on Monday. So I've just come to check that everything's in order, ready for him to start, and it is looking sensational. Yeah, I'll spin the camera around and I'll show you some of this joinery because it looks beautiful and it's going to look really, really good up to the patio. So here we go. Clients have gone for this black aluminium double glazed joinery. All very, very thin frames. It's like a heritage style, so really popular, and it looks really, really neat. See if the doors are open. They might be. Yep, that's good. You can see they've got the full multi-point spagnolet locking system in there with a nice little thumb turn detail on the inside for the lock. Loads of glaze into it, loads of light in, so that's really, really smart. And then the plied areas you can see for the wall build-up externally, that's going to be standing seam zinc, just like the roof. So really pleased that this project is finally taking a step forward, and come the end of next week when the zinc's on, we can't wait to see it and to show you, and then progress with the work on the inside. So yeah, looking really, really good, really positive progress finally on our zinc extension. So we're up on the top lift of the scaffold over at Ross on Y, and the guys are literally just putting the finishing touches to the ridge tiles. You can see behind me there. We're just waiting a little time for those to come in. There was a bit of a delay, so yeah, the last of the ridge tiles are going on. So I thought I'd just show you around for a last look up on this roof, because the scaffold is due to be dropped next week, so we won't get the opportunity to see it this close up and appreciate all the craftsmanship again. So nice leaded valley behind me, leading into the new gutter. You can see the renders all been completed, gone for a nice like a peachy pink colour, offset nicely with the coloured windows, and yeah, this one's looking really good. Some absolutely cracking views as well in this little tucked away plot. It's brilliant.
So all the insulation is down in this raft foundation, 250mm of insulation. All going to start taping all the joints. Then it's the first layer of mesh to go on. Then there's some chairs, and then another layer of mesh to go on.
Going on now.
So have a look, Chan.
It's a castle.
Okay.
I'm going to place it onto the steel
Yep.
mesh,
Correct.
like so.
Correct. Cool, you're good at that, aren't you? So all the glue lamps are turned up for the garage, and the rafters are these big 300 I-beams. See the garage taking shape now. I've been here for a couple of days doing it. So it is a stud frame with OSB on the inside, and these great big I-beams as the rafters. So as you're looking at the garage, all the face of this garage is going to be stonework. All the behind and to the sides is timber cladded. So on top of this roof, we've got normal insulation in between the rafters, and then you can see this wood fibre here there is going to sit on top of the roof, so more insulation going on top.
Okay, so we're at Goodman's Restoration now, and Nick is about to load a log onto their brand new sawmill, so I thought I'd just capture this because it's quite exciting. So this saw makes life a hell of a lot easier for these guys at the mill. As you can imagine, a big investment, but the time saved and the quality cuts they can get with this machine program is fantastic. you end up eventually, after the milling process, whatever size timber the builders or whoever's purchasing this stuff has ordered, is this beautiful sawn, square cut timber. Some of it might be feather edge, so it's got more work to be milled on it. Some might be square edge, some might be plain, so they've got capacity to do that here as well. But yeah, really interesting little process to sawmilling, which you know, a lot of people don't think about when you just see wood cladding on a house. This is some bumper stone that's going on, so we're going to load that up now. I've not quite finished tying all my timber onto the roof rack, and Nick's already wasted all that log, and he's now cutting square boards out of it. Look at that. Brilliant. Hello.
So currently in the gym. So this is all going to be all OSB'd. We've got the great big glue lambs. So we've got some structural wall on this side, so OSB on this side, loads of 6x2 timbers as uprights wedged in there. We've got a utility and a downstairs WC going in there. And if I walk through here, this is going to be the utility. So we're just at the moment just insulating everywhere, so halfway through the project. So this is going to be the finished walls, this OSB. We've got insulation to go into the ceilings and these I-beams. We've got the great big glue lamb in there, waiting for the windows and the electric doors to turn up. We've got lots of sockets, lots of car point chargers, really big space. So this is a lot longer, a lot wider than what a normal garage needs to be, so they can have a lot of storage then around this back wall here. So it's going to be a plaster finish on the top, OSB finish on the walls. So at the front of our garage now, this is going to be a stone faced wall. So you can see we've got the insulation here, we're going to sheet it in OSB, and then we're going to put the fire curb membrane externally. And then this is called a shore cav then. This is a ventilation tray that goes behind the stonework. So this will go screwed against the wall. We'll have our damp, a couple of layers of damp to come through like that. And then our stonework then will be built up on top of this. So we can have this as a ventilation and then the stone face as a finish. Morning guys. So at our passive house build at the moment, been busy, really busy behind the scenes. A few of the boys and myself have been on a passive house course. Just a refresher really. We went on it a few years ago, but the things have changed so much recently in the last couple of years that we're keen to keep up with all the modern technology. So it's really interesting. So pleased that we're doing that. All the materials have come on site now for the project, so the site is really compact at the moment with materials. We're having a huge price increase with everything at the moment, so we're struggling to find the cheapest suppliers and things like that. So got a lot of insulation on site, all of the insulation to finish the whole house and the garage. Been told recently it's going up 37% at the end of this month, so we're keen to have it all on site. Here we are, Katie. It's a little site dog, Katie. So yeah, so slabs poured, all been signed off. The garage is nearly built, just finishing off the last couple of things. We have all fully insulated, OSB'd. We've got I-beams on the roof. It's all felt and battened at the top. All the stone is turned up for site now. The front of the extension, the front of the garage is all stone. So that's all turned up. We have 12 bags of that's turned up on site. All the groundwork's in. So we're just finishing off that now in the next couple of days, and all the Douglas fir cladding is turned up on site now. So we can start fitting that. So this time next week, all the shells should be done on the garage. So really pleased with that. Please.